met someone and within minutes you thought to yourself, wow, they seem amazing. Maybe it was their confident smile or the way they spoke. Before you know it, you are assuming this person is trustworthy, this person is kind and smart, all because of that one good impression. This is called the halo effect, and it's everywhere. Today, we will explore not just how it impacts our relationships and churches, but also why it can be a good thing. Yes, the halo effect has a positive side too. Let's think of where does this idea come from? Well, let's rewind back to the 1920s. Have you ever heard of Edward Thorndike? Yes, he was a psychologist. He first described the halo effect. Thorndike noticed something surprising while he was doing a study on soldiers in the military. So if a soldier was rated highly in one area, like his physical appearance or his strength, they often receive high marks in unrelated areas too, like in their leadership or intelligence. So in simple terms, for example, imagine two soldiers. One is tall and the other is short or less imposing. Even if their skills were the same, the taller one might be rated more positively overall. Why? Because that one good trait, which is his physical appearance, casts a halo over everything else. It's fascinating how a single impression can shape how we judge a person's entire character. And this pattern still shows up in our everyday lives up till now. So what's the halo effect? In simple terms, it's when one positive trait, like someone being well-dressed or having a great smile, makes us assume they have other good qualities too. It's like seeing a shiny apple and thinking the whole tree must be healthy. But life isn't always that simple. It might sound risky, but let's talk about how it can also help us connect with people and build trust. While the halo effect can build trust, it can also lead us to overlook important details. In relationships, for example, that initial charm or confidence might make us ignore red flags. We might assume someone is kind or responsible based on their looks or charisma alone. Let's bring it closer to home. Imagine you're on a first date. The person is funny, the person is confident, the person is well-dressed with a nice perfume. It's easy to think they must be responsible and they must be kind and they might be honest as well. But that's just the halo effect at work. This is a real life story. I once knew someone who dated a guy because he was super charming and had an impressive job. She thought those traits meant he would be a good partner. But over time, she realized he wasn't very supportive or honest. That initial charm created a halo that made her overlook some serious red flags. See, charm or a good impression can be great, but they don't tell the whole story. And this doesn't just happen in dating, it happens in friendships, in workplaces, and even in churches. Yes, churches are communities built on trust, and the halo effect plays a big role. When a pastor delivers an inspiring sermon or has a charismatic personality, it's easy to assume they are wise and ethical in all areas. But being a great speaker doesn't automatically make someone a great person. Look at it from a positive angle. Now, let's remember, it's natural to look up to leaders who inspire us. The halo effect can foster respect and unity in a congregation. It helps people feel connected to their community, but it's important to stay balanced. We need to see leaders as whole people, not perfect people. That way, we can support them while also holding them accountable. Take historical examples of famous church leaders who fell from grace. They might have had magnetic personalities or they might have delivered inspiring messages, but behind closed doors, they abused power or acted unethically. The halo effect made it harder for people to see those flaws because that initial halo was so strong. This doesn't mean we shouldn't respect our leaders. It just means we need to see them as whole people, not perfect ones. It's important to look beyond the surface. So, someone may ask, how can we avoid falling into the halo trap? Here are 3 simple steps. Number 1, I would say pause and reflect. When you are impressed by someone, take a moment to ask, what else do I know about them? Number 2, look for consistency. True character shows over time. Pay attention to how they act in different situations. And number 3, separate traits. Just because someone looks good at one thing doesn't mean they are good at everything. It's all about balance. The halo effect isn't bad in itself, but being aware of it helps us make better, more informed decisions. I hope this opened your eyes to how first impressions can shape our view of the world and how to look beyond them. Have you ever experienced, I don't know if you've ever experienced a halo effect, but if you've had, I would love to hear your story. Drop a comment below and let's keep the conversation going. Remember, real understanding takes time. Let's be the kind of people who look deeper and see others for who they truly are. Thanks for watching. See you next time.